discuss. On our agenda today, you can see that we have a mortgage advisor here in our midst. We have a visit from the leader of Plaid Camry, Welsh, is also here in our midst. And also some of our new members. I have to start with what we normally do. I'll pass the mic around so that everybody will introduce themselves, who they are, where they're from, and what they do. So that gives us an opportunity to get to know each other very well. So I'll start myself. I will speak Igbo and English language. I am Mazi Ifan David Amechi, the chairman of the Igbo community of Wales. I'm Abia State. Then the local government, to be precise. So I am self-employed. I work for myself. So thank you very much. I'll pass the mic to my community power.
Igbo Mbamba. Ahambo. Very Micah Mba. Abumoya President. Abumoya Doctor. No hesitate. Onyumu hesitate. Abia. I don't tell me amen. So when you mara in order, I say mara. Praise God.
Nekele onye ọbụla amụwo dodere m mba awụm onye Abia steeti onye di m na-arụ na as in healthcare organization. Thank you.
Nekele onye ọbụla aha m bụ Chinonso Ikechukwu Chikezie. I'm onye Abia State, and I'm a healthcare. I'm onye Ohafia, man I didn't go onye Bende, onye Osuite.
I just try to win now.
Ndi Mokelelo, Mamalu. I speak in English. My name is Princess Oriana. I work as a marketing and community engagement coordinator for Wisconsin Camry. I'm from Imo State, Idaho South Local Government Area precisely. I'll pass the mic on. Thank you.
No. I am Njideka Marcel. I'm onye Igbo State, onye Mbise. Mana I'm na Olu East Amago. I'm a registered nurse here.
I'm onye Mba, Abia State, onye Mba village, ebi na Newport, ebi na elekọta ndị ekwe anya ndewo.
I'm also alive, Chico. I'm onye Abia State. I'm a mental health nurse. Onye kwano before me within the window, even na Newport.
Igbo Mama afọ m bụ Chima Elendo. Abụ m onye ọlọ bịara n'Imo State. M na-arụ with Lloyd Banking Group. Igbo ndewo no.
Ebe n'ọlụ. Idowere. Okay.
Mama. Aha m Mama Elendo. Ọ dị m onye kwuchara okwu kịta. Anyị bụ ndị ọrụ. Abụ m onye ụmụ n'ọla na-alụ Idowere ọrụ. Ka m kwuo maka ndị na-anaghị ala Igbo. I work with John West Partnership as a manager in Cardiff. Hello.
Tree Forest. So I'm coming from the University of
Dubai, Daludo. Abambo, Chief, Uchenwa, Abumoni, State, or local government, precisely. In that Tree Forest. Yes. Now, when reports and the compliance officer, Serena Healthcare Solutions.
Oruba North, Ajale Oruba North. Manana Manudi na Imo State, Owerri North. It might be a month out of all, so I think this is my first time. They won.
No.
Sorry, I don't know to speak Igbo properly. If you was okay, I found goodness, what is your author? So, and I'm an I'm with Hope Attach Limited as a support worker. So thank you. I'm from listed. I'm from every Alora, Number State. Electoral analyst. Yeah, so I live in Cardiff as well.
Thank you.
You work at the mine, so. My name is James. I'm with Tony, my wife. We live in Cardiff, and then Kim's with us. I work as the Revenue Operations Director for a tech company.
Chidi ụzọ ana m arụ na Swansea, abụ m nọọsụ Swansea Airport. Onye Ọhafịa Abia Steeti.
Onye Ọhafịa Abia Steeti. Thank you very much. Chairman.
Ibukwenu.
Yeah.
Ibukwenu.
Yeah.
Ibukwenu. I don't know how to speak Igbo. My name is Lesbian Mata, CEO of Display Law School. And I am a Black minority officer on the flight company. I'm here with my vice chair from flight company.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marianne. My name is Nick Carter. I'm going to speak in English, that'd be great. My best in English. All that first. So I'm the Vice Chair at Cardiff Constituency Party Group. I come in, I'm also the Chair of the Cardiff Area Committee in Cardiff. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.
I'm area Chinwe Pastor Igwe. I'll go nowhere. Think what on your way. I'll go nowhere. Think I'll be a good time. If you want another house charity foundation, yeah, as a care assistant.
Good evening, all. Permit me to speak in English. My name is Ikiroka, fondly called Lady Inky. Just relocated to Wales from England. Thank you.
Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from Imo, Maricha, Anambra.
I promise you.
I work in London, so I also need to listen, so I'm also in support of my lady. How will you that or not? From Igbo.
Ndị be anyị ndeewonu. Aha m bụ Nwaada Susan. Ahụ m mgbakọ Owerri kpọmkwem. A na-alụ m na Delta steeti. Anyị bi na Wales anyị bi na St. Melons and I've been self-employed. Ihe niile a ga-ere ebe taa, m shiri ya. Ahịa shuga.
Ka kwa Chimayo.
Ụmụ mmadụ ndị Igbo ekele m. Aha m Susan Eberechi. Na-ewukwa na-ejima m. Ahụ m onye Owerri.
Hampole Jemie.
Nwaanyị ọkwanụ dị na Enugu steeti. Udi.
Kacha.
So, ahụ m ke Mboka.
Zuna.
Cha Igbo kachanu. Cha Igbo rienu. Birinu. Aha m bụ Dr. Uzonna J. Ibekwe. Abụ m onye Amuga Isochi n'Abia Steeti. Currently, I'm a support worker and a care assistant. Thank you very much.
Igbo mama. Yo, aha m bụ Chimezie Okorafor, abụghị Ngọkwa, Imo Steeti. Ebi m na Cardiff ebe a. Na-arụkwanụ ebe a na-eleta ndị arụ adịchọrọ. Ndewo.
Ndị be anyị ekele enu. Aha m Williams Ụkọnụ. Abụ m onye ụmụaka na Njaba Local Government, Imo State, South East, Nigeria. Ihe m na-eme is a very gray area. I would say at the moment, as I'm self-employed. Thank you so much.
Hadele.
Imo State. I'm a senior criminologist. It's public health nurse.
Unfortunately, I don't speak Igbo.
Guru.
My name is Stanley. I live in Pontypridd and I am a mortgage advisor. I've been invited over here to speak to you and I'm part of the family also.
Thank you. Welcome.
I work with also. Sometimes when I speak about even around the fight and case because everybody might be for time. But also African Indian like support women, children, so families from African and from minority background like women that been through domestic violence or whatever. So sometimes we get referrals of saying yes because we prefer anyone to us. So that is also add more young people in Anambra State.
Charles Chika, I'm going on in Igbo State. I'm out with the Catholic of God as my representative.
All-time man in Chimamanda Job. I'm okay, Bender State, Abia State. I can't read them precisely. I have pathologist with the NHS. I work with University of Bristol and Western NHS Trust. Thank you.
Ndewo. Aha wụ Chukwuka Ọhara, onye ụmụawụka Emi Owerri North, Imo State.
Emi.
So ana m arụkwa na healthcare. Ndewo.
Igbo man, thank you very much. At least everybody has introduced themselves. We all know who we are. It's also an opportunity. Onye no have any introduce. Oh, Kedo. Yam camera, come the video.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mamalo. Goodbye, Mamalo. Okay, I'm Mabo Kennedy. I am from, sorry, I'm from Igbo State, no, I know local government. So, everyone go Newport. I'm more in Canoso, no, we can't afford Canoso now. Canoso could delay Tiagani with a comforter. So, Obo, if I'm more one self-employed. There was.
Ndị Igbo ekele m unu. Aha m bụ Ichie Sonny Amadife. Abụ m onye Enugu Steeti. Eke n'Udi local government area. And m bịara m obodo a na December last year. And all the former man enjoyed ndị Igbo by Nakadi. Ekele m unu.
Igbo kelemu. Aha m bụ Chima Theodore Akam. Nwa onye ụmụnọka Igwe. Abịakwana m Adifa na December last year dịka nwanne nwoke si kwu. Mana otochukwu so n'ihu nwa na-arụ with the big way consulting limited nke nọ na Nọọbụ Otobu. Igwe mma mmadụ. Biko m ga-agbalị as much as ọ dị mma na anyị mara accommodate ndị mbịarambịa nọ n'ime anyị, mana anyị ga-agbalịkwa were kwube anyị ruo 1 or 2 days anyị chọrọ ikwu gbasara ndị Igbo. Ọrụ na onye ji akwụkwọ, if you look at the today's agenda, number 1 n'ọbịa we have a moral advisor in our midst. A lot of us na-ajụ ajụjụ say that na kee the benefit becoming an Igbo community member, kee ihe ha ga-erite n'ime ya. Sometimes our meeting, ụfọdụ anaghị abịa meeting. A lot of us now here believe we now maybe hand join in our Igbo community group platform that automatically they have become members of Igbo community. Partially yes, partially no. Because I will in a situation with him, only a full-blooded Igbo member. Because you register and you register her family. I am only so that I didn't have my hammer. Because only my when I here. All that is very bad when you come here, you have to make sure that you associate yourself with your community. You know, we need to make sure now only
ebe ndị Igbo ụlọ ebe ndị Igbo n'iso na ndị Igbo na-eme instead of ịbịa gị na-agba ndị Igbo gị na-aga one side gị na-aga one side. For those of you that have just been here probably the last 2-3 years are so privileged because for some of us that has been here for a very long time, I've been here since 2001. When I came here, you hardly see only Ojimo yourself. Talk less of visiting our own Igbo. So we did not have the opportunity to feel belonged. But in the last few years now, things have changed. There's a lot of black and ethnic minority, coming down to Wales, especially in Igbo. And we find it that it's very important to create Igbo community Wales. And this community has been going on for about 4 to 5 years now. And it's been growing strength by strength. Now, some of us need to understand that the Igbo community does not belong to anybody, does not belong to me, does not belong to anybody here. I'm just here volunteering, I'm just serving. Because some of us feels that maybe what do I have to offer? I'm just pleading with every single member here because there has been sometimes you hear things people saying, oh, what are they doing? They're not doing anything. There's nothing going on. It's an opportunity to ask every single member, not here, should feel free and to be a part of India Mega. Not only when we call party, you will see people full everywhere. Some of you that were here last year Christmas party, you can attest to the number of people that attended our party. Our party is always full everywhere. But once it comes to meeting, there's only few people that will come. So I want to plead with everybody. The executive members are struggling. We need people that will come on board and join us and bring in their expertise. Wherever you know that you're very good at, we need people to come in. Because if Igbo community is doing amazingly well, every single one of us will benefit from it. Instead of just leaving it to few people. Some of us have families and we also have work that we're doing. So the little time that we have, we're also using it to make sure that Igbo community is also growing. So it's not easy. So I'm pleading for everybody. If you know there is anything that you can bring on board, I won't hear on it's not just sitting out, behind. You'll be criticizing. There's nothing going on. They're not doing anything. We are asking for everybody to come along. If you don't know who to speak to, you can contact me. You can contact any member of executives. Bring up your ideas. Anything that you think that you can bring on board that will make Igbo community to excel more than how we are. For myself, I'm looking for people that will take over. I have been in this position for a while now, and I'm looking for people that can do better than what I'm doing. Let them come along and take over and run with it. So it's not easy and it's not fair that we have, if you go on our platform, we have probably almost about 800 or 900 members of Igbo community within Wales here, and I'm not even Swansea, because we have another chapter in Swansea, and they also do very well. In Swansea, you have almost about 700 of them in their own platform. That's just Swansea on its own. And if you go to Bridget, they also have a little community there as well. So, but I know Cardiff, we have more members in Cardiff. So it's an opportunity. I'm pleading and asking everybody to come along, join us. If you don't know who to reach out with, you can see who the executives are, or ask people who the executives are. Join us so that we can be able to push this community further. Now, if you look at today's agenda, there's some of us that have been in Cardiff. Probably does not know how some of the system works. We have been helping people to get jobs. We have been helping people to get into property ladder. We have been helping people to fill some of their forms. We have been helping people through their immigration cases. There's a lot of things that we have been doing behind the door, behind the closed door, that probably all the general members will not be aware of it. Today we have one of our brother, Mr. Stanley Adekola, is one of our brother. He's a Nigerian, he's a Yoruba guy. He's a mortgage advisor. We brought him today. We brought him today so that he will come and talk to some of us. There's some of us that are here that think that maybe their status will not permit them to be able to, go into property ladder. There's some of us that have money in Nigeria. They're looking to where to invest it. It's something that will advise us here today. So that's one of the reasons why we brought it. Even when you want to do, if you have any question that you want to ask him, there's some of you here that are thinking maybe it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. But if you have that knowledge, you have that idea, then you can then work and plan yourself. Let's say probably you say, oh, probably I'm not work now from now the next 2 years. This is what I'm going to do. So it is in our midst today. I'm going to bring him on board so that he can talk to us. After Stanley has finished talking to us, we also have our brother from Pride Family today who also speak to us and to let us know the benefit of being part of decision making in Wales. There's a lot of us here now, and I feel it's very important that we also contribute in decision making. Decisions that will affect us, we need to be a part of those decision making. So before I take your time, I would like to welcome Mr. Stanley Adekola. Can we give him a round of applause, please?
Buru buru.
Good evening, all. As I introduce myself, my name is Stanley, and I'll correct our chairman. I'm not Yoruba. I am from Edo State. Edo State, the heartbeat of Nigeria. I'm a mortgage advisor. I've been doing this for almost about 15 years. Worked in the banking sector, Lloyds Bank to be precise, and I decided to set up my own so that I can actually do more for people. The more that I can actually do for people is what I believe I couldn't do whilst I was working in a bank. Obviously, working for a bank, which is one of the things I would actually explain. Working for a bank, you can only offer what the bank has got to offer. Whatever product or whatever mortgages they have is all I can actually give to my clients. And I knew a lot of Nigerians, minority ethnics, people with immigration status, visas, were not really welcome where I was. And I really couldn't do much for them. But I knew working for myself, I would have access to the whole of the market, and I would be able to do more, and especially for Nigerians. And that has always been my dream, to help as much people as I can, whilst I've got the opportunity to help as much. Mortgages. What is mortgage? Mortgage is people actually taking a loan secured against the property and then repaying it back. Repaying it back, that is just a simple definition of what it is. A lot of people are in a position to actually get their own mortgages but don't know they're actually in a position to actually do it. I believe if you're in a position to actually get your own mortgage, there is no point in you actually renting. Although renting still serves its own purpose, but in my opinion, I think renting is dead money, because you're just paying for a roof over your head, but that's all you're going to do. For however long you actually do that, 20, 30 years, that is all you're going to do. You will never own that house. Maybe pay that rent for the next 50 years and reach out to your landlord and tell your landlord, Mr. Landlord, I've been paying you for the past 50 years. Can I get the keys to this house now? I think I am entitled to own it. And they will tell you, stop it, sorry. It's not, it's a business for me. So if you can afford to pay, if you can afford to get your own mortgage, then you can actually pay towards owning something. And it's a way of you growing your own wealth at the end of the day. Now, can you do it? Next challenge, and that is where I actually come in. Sit down with you, take a look and see whether it is possible for you to actually do it. And if you are, then good and fine, we will work with you to actually get that mortgage. Now, I know there've been a lot of questions people ask themselves because of the fact they've just come into the country. I've only been here for a couple of years. I've got a visa. That visa's got a limit. Who would actually look at me? I've spoken to my bank. I've spoken to Lloyd's Bank. I've spoken to Nationwide. They've told me no, they can't do it for me. But I'm here to tell you, they are not the only banks out there that are happy to actually do business with individuals. There are a lot of lenders that would love to actually do business with you because they don't want to compete with the likes of Lloyd's Bank. They would rather have you as a client and actually do business with you, get you a mortgage. And you'll be surprised that your circumstance, you'll be in a position where you can actually get that mortgage itself. But every individual is actually different. Now, the fact that John actually had secured a mortgage with these circumstances doesn't necessarily mean you would actually still get that. But till you actually sit down with either your bank or sit down with somebody like myself, you would never know. And I would always encourage you to give it a shot. If it is a dream you want to achieve, then it will be wise for you to actually give somebody like myself a shout or give the bank a shout and see where you stand and then see where you go from there. Now, I could stay here, I could talk from now till thy kingdom come because I love mortgages. I love talking about mortgages, I could stay, but I know I've got time. Time is not my friend, and you guys may have so many questions. So what I will say I do, if it's okay, I can actually open the floor for anyone to ask questions, and I will try as much as possible to answer the questions. Now, some of you may want to actually see me on a one-to-one basis and actually have this conversation. I will distribute my card so that you can give me a call at any time. We can make arrangements and talk. But at this point, does anyone have a question for me?
Thank you, sir. Mine is not a question. Mine is basically to encourage us.
Oh.
One thing that is popular in the UK is when you buy something or obtain a service from someone, they ask for a review. This is Stanley. I want to give him a review so that you don't feel that he doesn't know what he's doing. Stanley helped me with my mortgage 2 years ago. He literally held my hand from start to finish. I didn't know it was possible until the chairman introduced me to him. But the reason I wanted to say this is because this is the first time in 2 years I've met him. I've never met him, I didn't know him, but he was there every step of the way. So please, and he will talk to you in the language you will understand. That's the most important thing, because most of the time you go to the big lenders, they blow all this grammar, you go home scratching your head. But Stanley will definitely sit down with you. Sit down in the metaphorical sense though, and hold your hand every step of the way. So this is our opportunity to say thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Stanley. Thank you so much for coming. My question is quite simple. Could you do remortgaging as well?
Yes, we do remortgaging. We actually do for first-time buyers. That's people buying property for the very first time. We also do for home movers. Those are clients that already have a mortgage and already have a house and they're thinking of actually moving to another property. We also do mortgages for people looking to buy investment properties, buy-to-lets, become landlords. We can do that for you. And shared ownership, you could actually decide, listen, I cannot afford to actually buy 100% of that property right now. I actually have the council or a housing association or a developer who's happy to actually sell me a fraction of that house. We can also do that mortgage for you. Does that answer your question?
Hi, Stanley. Thank you for coming. And my question is, because I'm in the process of doing a mortgage at the moment, and it has come to a situation where I'm looking at options for approval in principle. I'm sure you understand what that is. So when it comes to approval in principle, are all the banks going to provide you with the same amount of mortgage, or are there like better lenders, or bank give different rates? Could you throw more light on that, please?
Definitely. Now, when it comes to different lenders and banks, they all know the sort of clients they're actually looking for. Now, what fits their lending model? Like you see a lot of high street lenders, most of them will like clients that are as clean as whistle. What I mean by that is you don't have any blip, in the sense that you may be a British citizen, you may have an indefinite leave to remain, you've got a good job, you've got good income, you don't have any adverse on your credit. Now, also, the way they actually also calculate that income which you have can actually differ depending on the amount of business they may be looking for at that point in time. So you could be earning 30,000 a year, and you could walk into Lloyd's Bank with that 30,000 pounds a year. Lloyd's Bank tells you we can only lend you 150,000 based on that 30,000 you earn and all your other commitments taken into consideration. And then you take that your same circumstance and take it to Santander, and Santander could come and tell you, based on this, we can only lend you 100,000. Going to Nationwide, they tell you they can lend you 150. Now, the challenge you actually face with actually walking into a high street bank is you would have to walk into each and every one of them to find out what they can actually offer you, and then compare all of it. Which suits me? Is this guy giving me more money? Is this guy giving me a better interest rate? Is this guy actually offering me an incentive to actually take out this mortgage? And that is where somebody like myself actually come in, because I have access to the whole of the market. I sit down with you, I actually take a look at your circumstance, and I actually understand your need, what you're seeking. And then I can actually take a look at all of these banks all in one place and then offer you what you're asking me to actually do. So to answer your question, there are lenders that could actually be generous, which you may not have access to. It all depends on what you're looking for and how you want to be handled in this case. Then you can then take it from there. So if you think the bank you're actually working with right now is not offering you what you're seeking, then it may be worth you speaking to a mortgage broker, because they could have access to more lenders and see it all in one place. Whichever lender you're actually speaking to right now cannot tell you what the other bank is going to offer you. They may be offering yourself more money than what you're seeking, or more money equal to what you're seeking. They may be able to, but they will never tell you that, because the regulation prevents them from actually doing that. But that doesn't apply to somebody like myself. So if you think you want more, and where you currently are is not giving you what you want, by all means give me a shout. I'll be more than happy, and we'll see where we go from there.
Let's try that. There are some people that have challenge with age. People like me. What is the shortest period of time that a mortgage lender can give mortgage?
That's a very nice question. Now, as time has gone on in the mortgage market, lenders have actually established that people tend to work a bit more than the usual retirement age of 66, 67. People tend to work a little bit more, and thus they giving you a mortgage up to your retirement age is not becoming too viable for their business. So a lot of them are toying or have toyed and are presenting right now opportunity for you to take your mortgage even up to the age 90. 90, because as long as you can actually evidence that you're capable of actually paying that mortgage up to that age, then yes, they will be happy to do that for you. Now, the way I joke about it, and I say it will get to a point where the government will tell us, don't retire until you die. Just keep working. And whenever you die, we'll look for how to actually disburse your state pension. Because that is the way things are going. The age is just increasing. And also, life is actually giving us the opportunity to actually work a little bit longer. And you know, people say when you stop working is when you die. So some people just don't stop working. They just keep going on. Even at the age of 70, 80, they're still working. So to answer your question, we can take a mortgage. There are some lenders that will take a mortgage up to your age 90. There are some mortgages that are lifetime mortgages, they call them. So till you die. So it all depends on your circumstance. If it is, there is, in other words, there is no age limit to how long you can take that mortgage for. It all depends on your circumstance. I hope I've answered that question. Chairman, okay, still got time? Good evening. Lovely. Any other questions?
First one, yeah? Yes. I have this issue of credit score because I got to understand that before you will be given a mortgage, your credit score will be checked. So I was willing to understand. And credit score goes with when you have direct debits running through your account. That do build up your credit score. Now, in my own cases, unfortunately, because of the kind of job I do, I'm a consultant, not on permanent basis. Yeah? I'm a consultant, not even here in Ireland, but in Scotland. The house I'm living in, for me to get that house, for me to be able to rent that house, my wife has a permanent job somewhere. She rented that house with someone else who has a permanent job somewhere. So without me coming in, yes, I have the money, I brought the money, but I couldn't get it. This same thing now, it has been disturbing me in the sense that the permanent job here is not really my thing, it's not really my thing based on where I'm coming from, the kind of job I do. So, and for instance, last month I went to buy a phone. My wife told me that my credit score is slow. That why not I go for direct debit? That is to get a phone, only £40, £50. I told her, see, I don't this kind of thing. If I want to buy a phone, I'll buy outright. Anything I want to do, I'll buy outright. Okay, let's do it. I went to see if I can get a phone from Vodafone. Okay, I went to Lloyds Bank. Lloyds Bank checked my credit score. It was too low. Now I went to Vodafone. They checked. They said I wasn't qualified. I was nonsense. Like come on. I had this one. They said no, this is not Nigeria. You have to do this. You have to do that. That's actually. You understand me? So now I went to EE. Same thing. I couldn't get that phone. And I have to go buy the phone after. So this thing now is actually going to be an issue when it comes to going for mortgage. So I don't know
Good question. Good question. Obviously, credit score is one of the things that the lenders actually assess to ensure they can actually lend you what you're actually seeking. It's very vital for you to actually keep that credit score great, because looking after it can actually give you, the credit score is more like, what sort of risk is this guy posing to my business, is what the lenders actually look at. Now, based on that risk, they may either say yes and then hit you with high interest rates to compensate for that risk. But yes, you're right, you've gone into Lloyd's Bank, Lloyd's spoken to them about credit, as I mentioned earlier on. Those high street banks know the sort of clients they're actually looking for. There are some lenders out there that would like, they don't mind, not that they like, but they don't mind having clients that have got terrible credit. Those are the sort of clientele they're actually looking for. Now, their business is geared to actually lend to such individuals. Then you may pay a price for that, in the sense that you may pay a slightly higher interest rate, or they may ask you to put down more commitments towards that mortgage, i.e. deposit, increased deposit. So when it comes to mortgages, because it's such a big industry, you will have lenders that wouldn't mind your circumstance. Now, I tell people there is a lender for everybody. It may not be Lloyd's Bank, it may not be Nationwide, it may not be Santander, it may be Bank of Timbuktu. Because Bank of Timbuktu are actually looking for individuals like you. Those are the sort, they don't want to compete with Lloyd's Bank. They want to have people like you who Lloyd's Bank have actually said no to. So when it comes to mortgages, unlike phones, credit and contract phones, I would say if you think you are in that sort of position, rather than walk into your high street bank, speak to a mortgage broker like myself, and we will be able to actually look to see what your circumstances are and which lenders out there will be happy to accommodate your circumstances. But it will always still be great for you to keep your credit clean and nice, so that you have an option. Either you come and walk to me, or you walk to your high street bank and actually get what you're looking for. So if you want some advice, some aid on how to actually either improve or make good your current credit, by all means, give me a shout. We can talk about it and we'll see how we can actually fix that credit. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, if anybody wants any private conversation with Stanley, please do feel free and have a chat with him. And his card is, pass his cards around now. Thank you very much. The next on our agenda is a visit from our brother from Clyde Connery. What's that your name? The Carter. I will speak in Igbo language a little bit. So I'm going to do one or two things before I'm going to touch it. Igbo, Kelen, Biko, Adempa, Unudana, Ungamonye driver. There's a reason why we just talk about it.
What do you need it for your brother?
Because of all pay attention, because that's very, very important. Always some of us may not have only K, it will cancel us tomorrow. But I'm on the PK when it will cancel tomorrow or another time. So, because it's very, very important. Unulanya, chairman of the platform. How who go win our wealth? Now Nigeria. So how are who win do that? So how are we now us? Ask the heart of how we go about the community. So they want to catch up and have barrier, because a lot of us improve. No, but all 95, because most of us, all our problem, we are family are there here. ọ na-eme obodo a initially onye ọbụla na-asị nna mbịa nnọghara ya arụ ọrụ 5 years ma na Naijiria gasepụrụ ka ngwakwa gị ya na ebela wee bịala already na-eche na ọrụ after 5 years nke na Naijiria werekwa ka ahụ tufuo anyị nwetara ya last time anyị nwechara target anyị sị na mkpụrụ na mkpụrụ akwụkwọ ya 6 years ya na ya ka 6 years ya 21 years anyị so you see that it's very, very important. Now, not like me, it doesn't have to be in the primary. There were other parties not aware. Because when we are most of us, we don't know focus on. So we have to start getting involved in decision making. Now start getting involved. It's an opportunity for us. Some of things in the Bible are true. These are the people who relate. But how do they help you? They will have to back to us as a government. So, in order to back up, join party, we are joining. I would have been our brother not here. For other election, and when was that? When did you? 2022. I think you came what position? You were up there for the first time. So can we give you a hand of applause? All the people here that might have that zeal to participate. What are them on? They will only gain tonight. Like I said, come no people. Only I get here now. There are from the people from the annual. So it doesn't have to be like I join it. Party Kihana. Oh, other parties situated and Wales. So it's an opportunity to encourage our people. We know I already need to get alive in the next 5 years. Manapa, no way again. So it's an opportunity. You go now. So we begin our hand. So without taking too much of your time, I would like to welcome Mr. Carter to come and speak to us. Can we give you a hand of applause?
Thank you very much, Dr. So as I say, my name is Nick Carter. Sorry to let you down, but I'm not a leader of PICO, I'm afraid. I'm just an ordinary member who happens to be the chairman of the Cardiff Area Committee. So there's 4 constituencies in Cardiff. This is in Cardiff East. Anyway, so I'm here to very kindly be invited to say a few words on behalf of Flag Cymru. So we're 100 years old. We were set up pretty much with one thing to do, and that was to look after and improve the lives of the people who live in Wales. I think it's probably important to sort of dispel some myths. So although I have learned Welsh, I speak Welsh, we're not a party for people who are just born in Wales or speak Welsh. We're a party who stands for everybody who lives in Wales and calls Wales a home. We're internationalists. We're the party who called for a ceasefire in Gaza very early on, unlike the other parties who still can't do that. As I say, we're really here for everybody who lives in Wales, and I would encourage you to get in touch with us. We're a grassroots, community-based party. If you need to speak to elected representatives, we were hoping that your local representative, Helen Buchan, couldn't be with us today, but it's very easy to get access to our elected members in the Senate. They're always very keen to engage with local communities, find out how we can help and sort of deal with people's needs, I suppose. What else? As I say, I'm not a politician. I'm just a layperson, business person who gives up my time to your committee to help the grassroots of the party. So I'm not elected. I haven't really come here to make a political speech. I suppose it's really just to introduce myself and thank you for coming. And perhaps find out if you have any questions about not just our party, but generally how you might want to gain access to making political decisions, joining parties, because essentially that is the way things can change. And we've got a Westminster election coming up this year, and whilst we may see a change in government in the United Kingdom, I don't think we'll see any difference to our lives here in Cardiff, here in Wales. But in 2026, there are elections for the Senedd, which is based on PR, proportional representation, and there's going to be 6 seats in this part of Cardiff, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to get your voice heard as well. So, yeah, maybe if anyone has any questions, see if I can help. Anyone have any questions?
Thank you for coming.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Before we came to this country, we've been hearing about Labour, we've been hearing about Conservative. Why Black Cameroon? Why not the 2 parties that are well established? Or do we need? Why did Black Cameroon come up?
It's a good question. So, firstly, one of the reasons you've only heard of Labour and the Conservatives is because the majority of the media in the United Kingdom is dominated by London, and Wales has a population of 3 million people, and the United Kingdom has a population of 60 million people, and our voice in the United Kingdom is barely heard. Now, you ask why in Wales, you may not know this, but in Wales, for the last 100 years, the Labour Party has won every election bar one, which was a European election, and that's a sort of slight sort of detour. But they've won every election for the last 100 years. And I don't believe that our lives in Wales have got materially better. And I just feel that they're jobs for the boys. I've seen Lord Geffen taking his £200,000 and I believe they take their voters for granted. In terms of the Conservatives, frankly, the Conservatives are out for the rich, and they are not looking after the working person, the person who has nothing and needs the help of government. Most they're interested in making the rich people richer so they can do trickle-down economics, which don't work. We've had 40 years of the Conservatives and frankly Labour in the United Kingdom, and I'm afraid it's time for a change. But the reason why you haven't heard about Plaid Cymru probably is because, as I say, the London media tends to dominate everything, and unless you focus on local news, you tend not to hear about the alternatives. Good question.
Thank you for coming. I'm going to ask a question based on the knowledge I've got of the politics in Wales. So when it comes to the devolution of powers to Wales, like you rightly said, for over 100 years, the Labour Party has consistently taken on power. Are you in any way considering like a coalition with Conservative Party, considering the fact that the only time David Cameron was able to win an election based on coalition, it's quite obvious that Labour has gotten quite a huge followership, and it will be very tough to get through to topple the Labour. So the only way I would say would be a consideration of a coalition between Plaid Cymru and Conservatives. Have you given that a thought? And what are your opinion on that, please?
Well, as I say, I'm not an elected member of the Senate, so it's not something that wouldn't be a decision of mine to make. About 15 years ago, there was a rainbow coalition. There was nearly a rainbow coalition between the Liberal Democrats, Plaid, and the Conservatives to oust Labour from being the main party in the Senate. Now, for one reason or another, that didn't happen in the end. I think that Plaid Cymru have always said they're open-minded to do the best. Their focus is always to do the best thing for their country, best thing for Wales. And they've done some things that I think ideally that probably rather they wouldn't have had to do. They've been working in some sort of agreement with the Labour Party now because they think it's important to get a budget agreed. They've got some concessions out of the Labour Party to get what they wanted, and they would make that sacrifice because they think it's better not to play party politics, it's better to get the good decision what's best for the country. When it comes to the Tories, I would like to think that it's almost an impossible question because I think we do need to get rid of Labour. The one thing I would say is that in 2026, because we're going to have an enlarged Senate, it's going to be 96. At the moment, we've got about 60 members, and we're going to get 96 now in 2026, and it's going to be massively expanded. And I think we're going to see Labour will be in power in the United Kingdom. Vaughan Gething would have been in his job for about 18 months at the Senedd, and I'm pretty sure that other parties are going to do much better against Labour in 2026. So I'm hoping that we might not need to have that conversation about the coalition, but in terms of whether we would do it, I honestly don't know. I think it would depend on the circumstances at the time. It would probably depend on who the leader of the Conservative Party was, and it would probably depend on what views, what their policies, what they could agree on. But I wouldn't be, there's not a natural home, but certainly for me, I wouldn't be very comfortable in a coalition with the Conservatives. Having said that, I think the best thing for Wales would be to get rid of and just have anybody else, a different voice in Cardiff Bay, so that we don't need it. With health, we've got Vaughan Gething, who's the First Minister now, and Elena Morgan, who's the Health Minister. Between them, they've been in charge of health for maybe 5-10 years, and it's the same ideas being turned around again. So we definitely do need a change. I haven't really asked you a question, my friend, but I don't know if I can.
I'm going to take my question from the two previous ones. I'm new in Wales, honestly speaking. There's still a lot I hope to learn. I've heard about the Conservatives and the Labour that others have said. I've never heard about the party, being as honest as I can. But it's good we have you here today, so whatever it is we can learn, it's an opportunity to learn. Political parties, to the best of my knowledge, the very first job they have is political education, to educate the masses to understand the opportunities that actually exist. What are the elective positions that are available here in Cardiff or West generally? Because we actually need to know what opportunities are, not just who to vote for, but we must also be interested in presenting ourselves. He said that our brother appeared to have presented himself sometime under the party. I personally don't know what those positions are. If I know, I might be interested, and there are small people who might also be interested. If you can enlighten us a bit on what they are.
Okay, so without sort of going through sort of manifestos and things like that, because essentially you want to know what we stand for, I suppose. Is that right?
That's one. Then elected positions that are available that one can show it.
Yeah. So we stand for equality, and we stand for the rights of everybody in Wales and fighting improving people's lives. As I said, we're a socialist party, so we believe in the distribution of wealth. One of the policies, for example, we have at the moment in the United Kingdom is the two-child benefit cap, child benefit. We don't agree with that, unlike the other two parties. I don't know. I'm sort of, I haven't come prepared really for a manifesto, but if you give me your details, I can send you a copy of our last manifesto. I can send you some information about what we stand for. But if you ask me if you have a specific question about a particular policy, I might be able to sort of tell you what our view is on it. But I can't sort of stand here and say off the top of my head what we stand for. I wouldn't know where to start. But we stand for making sure the lives of people in Wales are improved and get better.
Okay. Thank you for coming. My question is, firstly, as you can see, we're people from black and ethnic minority. So our statistics shows that we're less likely to be successful both in Wales and in the United Kingdom overall. So my question is, do you actually have any policy that can help with this situation? Thank you.
Well, 100% recognise the privilege that we have living here with white skin, etc. And I would say that we work hard. I know that Helen and what's his name, Reese, spoke to you today about the housing situation that some of the African students have found themselves with. We see you and as fully paid members of society, we will try to protect you and look after you as much as anybody else. I don't know if you've got a specific policy off the top of my head that will help, but as far as we're concerned, if people have made Wales their home, then our door is open and we would like to help everybody who lives in Wales improve their situation, and if they've got particular problems, then we can get access to some of the elected members and we can see if we can help.
I have one question that I need to ask you. You don't have to answer it if you can't. So obviously it's as a community something that we've been struggling with, and we're just looking for a means. If there's anybody out there that can help us, we've been struggling with venues where we can hold our meetings. We used to have a permanent venue down the hip, but we lost that venue. So we have been struggling looking for a particular venue that will be able to help us to hold our meetings, hold our events. Because we have several events that we do during the year. But not having a particular venue where we can hold this event has led us not to be able to do what we're supposed to do. It's just the question that I want to throw out there. Is there any way or any means that you guys can help us see if there's anything that
Are you looking for something like permanent or just alternative venues to hire out periodically?
Yes, there's somewhere that we can call home, somewhere that we can use, because there's quite a large number of us. So what you just see there is just, so we're looking.
To be honest with you, I don't know. We use various venues ourselves for our political meetings, and we hire. We've got an office in the centre of Cardiff. I can make inquiries about that, and I can come up with some suggestions of some venues that they're probably the same venues you can see. A permanent home, obviously, find something like that, or but all we know is places like this, really. Okay, but I can ask you about where we are based in the city, in the centre of Cardiff, and I can see if there's any option. I don't think that's used particularly a great deal necessarily. But I just don't know what circumstances are around how we give access to other people. That's fine.
I would like to do our brother, who has been a party member of Clyde Cumry, and he has been with them for quite a long time now. Let's hear from him so that he has few things that he wants to tell us.
Thank you very much. My name is S.C. Anata. Let me start with the question you just asked. Sometimes in 2022, you remember I presented a proposal to the Senate through Reese and Senator Ellen, regarding the establishment of African People Support Center. In that proposal, they went through this, read through it, and then they were happy with it. It's going to be like a center, a place, like a big place. One of the things that was included there was service accommodation, and like events, halls, and centers where people can, African communities, different communities can rent or acquire amenities to be using for some of the events. So, but I think we're still on the discussion table, not yet approved. I think that's the starting point. Now, based on what he said, I know he's going to make inquiries. If it's possible, to get back to you. As one of you, I'll say again, my name is Esianaka. I'm currently the Black Minority Ethics Officer in Cardiff East Flight Company. In 2022 or 2021, the reason why I decided to join a political party, which is Flight Company, was because after my first graduation, I actually got a job with HSBC Bank after all the interviews. But I was denied that job because I did not have the proper visa that would have enabled me to. So the bank told me that I have to acquire the tier 2 visa without them sponsoring me. So I was a bit disturbed. I went to the university. I was like, I told them that I've gotten a job. They gave me an offer, but what they said to me is that I have to process my own visa. If there was any way the university could help, but they said to me they couldn't, they won't help me. If the bank decide that they don't want to sponsor me, then I should prepare myself to go back to Nigeria. So what I did was, I decided I was going to look for help outside the university environment. I started moving around. I was attending events until I met one of the flight company activists. He spoke to me about the party, and I decided to join. In one of the events we had, he introduced me to the Carter and Senator Reese. We got talking. They asked me to register with the party, which I did, and eventually I became a member. It wasn't up to 4 months. Election was approaching 2022. Senator Reese and Senator Hennig asked me to stand out to contest for the position of the councillor in Cardiff Council, which Nick and others, Morgan, assisted, and well, we almost won the election because there are processes there. Like, it's not like in Nigeria where you have to, score, higher votes. They have a benchmark. If you score up to about 1,000 votes, you'll be elected into the council. But if you vote ties, you do like how do you call it? Yeah, runoff. So out of 1,000 votes, I was able to score about 676 votes. The problem there was that our people didn't come out to vote. That's just it. So what I want to say here is that we should all, if we want to participate in the election, because one of the things Senator Rich said to me was, and it is a challenge, when councillors are making laws in the council, none of our people are there. We have other people, politicians from other minority community who are being represented in the council. But if you go to the council, you won't find any African person. Reason being that it feels like we don't like the progress of ourselves, we don't support ourselves. That's the truth. Because while I was contesting, I heard so many things. A lot of people said, "Oh, when did he even come to the country?" Some people say I was an Igbo. So with that, for that reason, they won't. Yeah, they are not going to vote me. So these were some of the challenges. But at the end of the day, it wasn't for my own good, just for my own, but for the benefit of the entire society. Now, let me tell you, for the fact that I'm being identified, registered with the party, and we have this relationship. Pride Congress stands for equality, diversity, and inclusiveness. The main one of the policies in the party is that everybody living in Wales must have a good life. That is the truth. And do you know what has happened within this period after the elections? I'm able to have access to the different all our Senate members. I brought some of the issues, the challenges that our people are facing here, which I'm sure most of us are not aware. Before in Wales, some of you are aware, you cannot study medical courses as an international student. As a nurse, medical courses like nursing and what they call it, medicine and surgery, you cannot in Wales. Jobs was also an issue. Student finance was also an issue. I brought these issues to these Senate members and they went straight. You know, they took it very serious. They deliberated in the Senate House. And thank God, you asked questions about coalition with other parties. Like Comrade, synergizing with Green Party, and as well some of the policies they are making now, the Labour Party are also like buying into the policies, and you know they come to terms of agreement. I think what we do here is an inclusive government. It doesn't matter the party that you are, we are working for the common interest of the people. And these ideas are being initiated by Pride Company representatives. Now, do you know that these policies have been amended since I brought those issues to the Senate House? They've amended these policies. Now, as I speak to you, last year, the government has approved that University of South Wales should start admitting international students, which when the information came, we aired out and our people started applying, and it's not even, they are not even paying for it. It's all scholarship sponsored. So if you have anybody that wants to study BSc, not say the universities in Wales have started admitting, and this was being done by Flight Country representative. Now our students have started collecting bursary, both from the university category masters, BSc, and secondary school students. They are collecting bursary. Now, this was being done by Flight Country representative, Senator Rees. The other thing is also advocating for accommodation issues here in Wales, job issues. I don't know if most of you are aware, so many of our people, especially Nigerians, have been employed as lecturers and in other sectors. These are policies and issues that Senator Rees, everywhere, Senator Helen, Adam Price, and Rule, they brought to the House, and they speak against sentiments and discrimination very strongly. And there are issues I raised because I also worked in the hospital as a healthcare support worker, and I saw some of these systematic racism and some other challenges. I brought this to them and we are working so hard. We are discussing all the time, trying to see how this issue can be minimized. So, one thing I would say is that I want to beg each and every one of us to register with. You can choose any party, but from what me I know, people who have the interest of the minority communities and groups here is Wales Party, which is Flight Congress. So I will request that if you guys want to be fully involved in policy and decision making, register with the party, and then we start from there. In the upcoming elections, there are so many elective offices that are available. When you register with the party, you can absolutely decide to stand out for any election as long as you qualify. So I think that's it.
One last thing about the policy. Any member of the party, the way that we make our policy is that we have an annual conference, and anybody who's a member of the party who has any ideas for policy can stand up, and if their idea gets adopted by the party, it becomes official party policy. So every single member of our party can influence the policy of the whole party. Just thought I'd finish with that. Thank you very much for having us.
Okay, please, I just have one question. Yeah, listen. Yeah, one question about it has some name. Now, number one is from what you say, if I'm summarizing, for us to stand up for any election, we have to be party members, we have to register first.
Yes.
Now, our brother here asked the question, what positions are available to be contested for that one? Then secondly, the kind of document you are on, does it affect the position you contest for that too? I mean, for those on tier 2 or student visa or those who already have a permanent stay. So, are there categories of positions you are supposed to contest for based on the documents you have? That's two. Then, in general, I want to say something. If we are very observant to observe that some of our cousins, the Arab nations, the ones here, if you're very observant, you know that most of them, on election day, most of us will sleep at home. They go out to vote. Most of us will relax, but they go out to vote. Yes. If I ask now, let's take a census of those who are on the electoral register, most of us don't even know what we're talking about. Okay, so you see the thing, that is where the problem comes in. And that's why, before you know, you see someone from that side winning an election with ease. Because when they go to the vote, they spread this news and they take it very serious. Thank you.
Okay. Let me start with the last statement you made. You see, now there's a law here or policy in Wales that, or in the UK, that from 16 years old is eligible to vote. Now, what do? We all have younger ones, kids that are up to 16 years. We have friends. We should start by sensitizing them in-housely from our home. Speak to your friends, tell them the need and the benefits of coming out to vote in the election. It is not like in Nigeria because people have this idea of politicians, and this is one of the what somebody said to me on the day of our election that we went to knock on their door. Please come out and vote. Time. They said to me, "Boy, waiting they worry you. Why they can't wake us for sleep? Don't be if you enter there now. They say you this boy if you enter there now, you go to carry our money. It's not like that here. It's a total different thing here. So that's what they said to me. Now there are different elective positions here. But first, you need to register as a member of the political party. before you
Since
can
I ask
have
question now.
access to contest
Even the woman.
or indicating interest for a particular position. Like now, there's a position coming up of next year election.
Because we are advancing and nobody teaches us what to do. We know how to get to things. Yes. Envy.
Which I was nominated, but because I don't have money to remain, I would have gone for the position. And I'm sure some of you do have, and you have been qualified. So please, if any of us wants to be part of the policy and the structure, please, let's register.
I must be good. It's better to be envy than to be consequential. You understand me? Be controversial than to be consequential.
Like the labor and conservative is going to be difficult.
Igbo, yeah.
So, thank you very much. Let's give a hand of applause. So there's something that needs to be added to it. All of us here are Nigerians. We are eligible to register to vote because of Commonwealth citizens. So bear that in mind. Because even if you're a visitor, even if you're illegal and you're here and you're Commonwealth citizen, I don't think you have the right to register to vote here in the United Kingdom because whatever decision that is taking place here affects you as a Nigerian citizen back home. Bear that in mind. But you know, I'm not preaching that you be here illegal. You need to be here legally and also try to register to vote. We start from voting, then when you have your indefinite leave, you can then vie for positions over here. You don't have a question. You know what? Thank you. Biko,
What is election?
Somebody is asking question. What is election? Yeah, election is how we get people into position, especially leaders in our community or in our. Election is how we get people into position. Yeah. It's how we get people into a position. Yeah. Because any opportunity of the people. That's how we get people in election is how we select people to become representative of the people. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Pleasure having you guys. Thank you very much, sir. Igbo, Imam Igbo, Helen. Because please,
sorry. The computer is saying, are they interested in have some jollof rice before leaving? You can.
Susu. Make a hammer in it. I've been let this guy pull out. You want more money?
Hey.
As you know, the Yaga Koran Manakanoso, how boy or Igbo. Don't have drawn. Can't you go to the match?
Can't buy milk.
Oh, Igbo. Oh, yeah, Bible. So, all the people and people are we say yes to people,
hey.
People already 1 hour and she Swansea, not in our midst. I have a friend, a woman. She has been a part of Igbo community not long ago. I would like her to have 1 or 2 things to tell us. Now, there's a lot of things that we're supposed to be doing in Igbo community. There's something one of our brothers said there, Marcel. I think it's last 2 or last 3 years when we were organizing our summer event. We were talking about doing some of our cultural dances. So I told you guys
That's why God behind our woman has no promise. God will use you. So we're looking for somebody to be our masquerade. So we're not here. So my son is here to line now. I said, Alpha. So because if she all the way from Swansea, she's very good at. So actually, what we are doing one or two things regarding teaching our children our Igbo cultural dance. She's very good at that. Some of the events we go to is on our person on our platform. So please can you have DP? Thank you very much.
Well, I just feel like I like it behind in terms of our cultural activities. Okay. Okay. So if like now I know like behind cultural activities like like I think other people in here like Nottingham. I spoke to the chairman of the Igbo Congress and also now Nottingham when they met at as well. So you can imagine that. And again, to be honest, I just, well, from my own experience, we all have talent, like even when they say, if you, like, wait, let's say that. And sometimes we have to, like, showcase our talents that we feel is nothing, like, it's a talent. Onye na-afọ fuse the talent, you know. And these are things we don't feel anything because schools now they are calling all the, like they are, if I can find a form of workshop in schools so that everybody could bring their cultural activities, maybe dancing, sometimes I never like storytelling as well. So it became and it's funded. And these are talents, and it's all, I'm going to help our children to feel that they belong. So it's been going on. There's a lot of schools in Wales that have been doing it. Some people like I don't want to Igbo cultural dance. Then drama as well, we could do that. I'm ready to, do that for our young people.
Please. And the women has created their platform. I know the men are still about to open our own platform. So I don't know what you guys are discussing on the women's group, but I would want you guys to time for our children. It doesn't have to be only here.
Yeah, anybody
that is interested in learning our cultural dance. Hopefully, very soon, by the grace of God, we'll be able to buy our own cultural equipment, both drums, with our brothers across the border with all those equipment. So we've spoken to them, they're willing to lend us if we are in need of those, if we haven't gotten our own priest. So they need anytime I need any of those equipment until we can be able to get our own. So this is an opportunity for us to, train our children, bring them up, teach them not just dancing, because that also shows who we are, to showcase our culture. So like if you rightly said, some of us will ask question, what is in there for me? Why would I leave my work or take my children off school to come and learn how to dance Igbo school? There's funding available.
Yeah, there's funding available. Like when group, I think I was just meeting a platform, and there are just two people, and it will be 3 or 4, and people have been paid for it like in a day. When couple like £300 in a day. And yes, and there are like the Chinese, they are all Asian, other people. But like Igbo men, not just 2 people, just 5 people, and it was okay. So I began like sometimes they will contact this woman from Africa Center. So I contacted them, see I know where anybody, people actually from like an event, and they are being paid. It's not just about the money, it's just like showing our talent, commanding our people and everything is a talent. So yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, and people, like if he said, I don't know if there's anybody that is interested. There's a platform that has been created. There's a platform that's been created. Like I said, it's not specifically for men, it's not specifically for women. Anybody that is interested in learning how to dance Igbo cultural dance, if you dare to organize it. And there's also an event coming in Cardiff.
It's on the 23rd of June. So we are planning to perform that.
So yeah, if has applied on behalf of the Igbo community to participate. So that is also an event where I think they showcase.
No, like it's where we have a stall, so we showcase our handicrafts. No, we don't have to because we do make stuff alone.
So it's an event coming up in Cardiff for ethnic minority groups in Cardiff to come and showcase what they do and who they are. But at the moment, if he has only been able to secure a store for us to be able to showcase our handcraft. Let's say for instance, like if you're able to anything that's really hard, you come and showcase it there. Because these are some of the things in Delta are like it. Other communities are doing it. So we just felt it's necessary we also make more community aware. Just if there's anybody within our means that are very good.
So we should target 90 in general because other people are doing it.
So that's what we are hoping.
So everybody is interested, we should start with something really, and from there we start getting more funding.
So I don't know if there's anybody with any question because we all have kids.
Sorry, I have a question. I want to appreciate everything that has been done here today. And I'm just a first time comer to this Igbo meeting. And my question is, what is it all about ICW? I want to know what Igbo community offers to the Igbo in Wales. What is it? What does it entail altogether? Along the course, I've got to understand one or two things from what has been said here today. But what can I tell an Igbo person in Wales that is not part of the meeting here that makes one enthusiastic to desire to be coming to the meeting? Because I understood you said we are more than this number on the WhatsApp group. So what is that thing that will make me pick interest to continue to come?
Thank you very much. My sister, number one, anybody that is an Igbo person, you don't need anybody to give you reason to come and associate with your brothers and your sisters. At number one, you don't need somebody to ask you to come and belong where other Igbos belong to. That's number one. It has to be your choice. Because anybody that leaves Nigeria and come all the way here, the first thing, as long as you're in Igbo, you have Igbo blood running in you, is to make sure to look where your brothers and your sisters belong. That's natural. So you don't first of all need to go and tell that person, this is what you're going to benefit from it. Now, what I tell people is, it's not about what am I going to benefit from Igbo community. My own is, what am I going to offer my community? Because our prayer every day is, God bless me, let me be in a position to help others. I understand where you're coming from. You said, okay, you said, what will you tell somebody that will make them want to join this? That's what I said to you. Number one, you have to okay, now, the benefits of becoming an Igbo community, becoming a part of a larger group. Okay, we have, if you register as an Igbo community member, we have people that have had issues with integration. We have people that are sick in the hospital, people that are looking for houses, we help them. People that just come here that are looking for jobs. We have somebody that needs CV training, not long ago. So people that are looking for jobs that need to upgrade their CVs.
or advice on how to obtain a better job, to upgrade their life or what they're doing. So people within our community, if you're looking for any help, anything, there's always one person within our community that will be able to help. So once you belong to the community, you belong to a family. It's like a family. If there's any help, anything out there that we can help you. So if we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have anybody within the community. So if you need help in the terms of immigration, we have people that will advise you. If you need help in terms of looking for jobs, we have people that will advise you. So those are the benefits that anybody we have programs, yes. Yeah, we have programs. Now, for investors, number one, we have meetings for every 2 or 3 months. We used to do this so what we did was we were having meetings regularly.
No, no, Safia.
My brother.
You know. Ali, I was there. None. Okay, thank you, Safia. Hello, children. How are you? Good, good. Enjoy your food, yeah? Enjoy your food. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Hello. Thank you for coming, yeah? Yeah.
People, I have your attention, please. Yeah, if you just finish up what you're saying.
So, anybody interested again, to be honest, why I so many people do this, because it's prepared my course for my therapeutic play for children. I just found out that we are literally lacking behind as Igbo people, really, because nothing about us is out there, nothing, and we have so much. We have so much to offer, so I'm really passionate about it.
DJ!
So please, give us the men. We need men. The men that will play the drums for us. We need them. Okay, like.
Because when the lawyer market shop,
right? You can't recall. Yes. Like the job, yeah? Look at smiling. I mean, I'm not like the job.
Aga m enwere bọọlụ sị na ama eri bọọlụ ndị ka nseme vidio ka m nwụọ na vidio abi oke nsogbu adị ka nseme ụlọ vidio la mba ọ bụ ọkịta gị ga-enye m ọnwa ọgụ bie m wee oge nye m ọgụ bie ebe alị m erizi ribe mba ọpụtara ga abụla
Igbo kelenu, biko echere ije onwe m. Ndị Igbo anyị mgbe anyị nọ na Naịjirịa, anyị na-akụziri ụmụaka ya oyibo, ndị Igbo atụ ga na-aghọta Igbo. Now, incidentally, anyị kpọrọ ha bịawa obodo a. Enwere ndị Igbo ekụziri ha Igbo, because ọ ga-anụ COVID. Ya ọ na-ekpọpụta ụmụaka anyị ha bịawa Igbo culture. Elee language a ga-use?
In Igbo now, everyone will be warrior.
Oh, language, how do you use it?
Yes, of course. Definitely. That's why we are going.
Where else are we not trying to?
Yeah. Well, when we travel around, we go to different places, Swansea, other places, a lot of places to perform. So, I think there are other places like Swansea, other places. So if you want to be part of it, or when you try to be part of us, like, everybody is there, you want to be trying to be part of Zimbabwe. Of course, I get it. You understand? It's not important, it's not free. So if they respond with the conduct,
that's another thing I wanted to touch on. So thank you very much. So people, before if you are there's a women group that all the women have to register and also we have a passport. So we have to join the women. And there's also a cultural group that SWTP has just set up, I think a couple of days ago on week. So anybody that's interested in Igbo cultural dance, like I said, it's not just for men, men and ladies.
Yeah.
You join. So and another thing I wanted to say, because one night we all have kids. Sometimes when your kids are playing, you might go to Swansea or you take them to Bristol, you take them to Methodist every weekend for them to run. So if it's a time that they say, okay, can we all meet in Bristol? Or can we all meet up in Cardiff? So obviously there will be men available for you guys to go. Showcase and participate. So I just want people to show their interest.
So my name is before we go to the
and because very important, a lot of us who are here are not even registered members of the Igbo community. And I want everybody to understand that it's not just being on the platform
Being on the platform does not make you an Igbo community member. You also have to register yourself. If you are single, register your family and pay your monthly dues and annual dues. Because we have thousands of members in the platform, but we only have few numbers of our members that are registered and paid members. So some of these things that we're doing here today, as little as they are, on the money follow through, all everything. So we need funding to be able to help us do what we want to do. So I would like to encourage everyone, if you have not registered, please do so, reach out, register, and pay your dues. But before you go, speak to any other agreement at the end. Then no matter what she's doing.
Sister IJ. Now we're going to on my camera before I be mess if I get that sin afro. You know. Only na from money about Sister IJ, the law of Maze Large. No. There we. Come on, Candy Beggy. Clear the chuku. So come. Okay. Look our video, okay. See? Tata. Go to us or I got drop the report. I'm a report, but you all money up to me about all that guy. I'm gonna make enjoy. Okay. This about yeah. Okay, only one matter. Cabo the end of the section now. Afro. So, this is Igbo Community of Wales. And thank you all for
Igbo, because a very important announcement. So I would like to have your attention, Biko. Biko, 1 minute, please. Thank you. Because a very, very important announcement. IFAC, the Congress of Igbo Leaders in the UK and Ireland, the event that they have every year, which part of some of us has been part of it, is coming up in July, next few months. I know Igbo community, we went as a group last 2 years. The event was unable to go last year due to one reason, it wasn't but the event is going on this year. Some of us now have been here before. It's an event that allow with a family. You can take your family, it's like a day out with your family. If we agree that Igbo community can go as a group, which we did 2 years ago, then we can try and see if we can fund it and we go as a group. But if we can't go as a group, I would like to encourage anybody, don't allow you go on here to go out. It's an event for Igbo within Ireland, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and everywhere in the UK. It's a very big event. And when you go there, you will see all your brothers and your sisters. Every community that is in Igbo land, we will be fully represented there. That day, they will showcase all Igbo tradition. Last year, he enjoyed himself so much. that he didn't even want to go back home. So some of us that went last 2 days, we really enjoyed it. So I will post that information. I think I posted it on the platform. I will try and post it again. And if anybody is interested, go. It's like a day out. You can just drive that day with your family, go and experience it, and then you come back. Brother Paul, I think I will name my name at the birthday shadow.
I'm not seeing ghosts here.
Because when you're not here, I can't apply. When you take another story, even to people, man, how the effect is. That is the kind of one I would have suggested anyone.
You know that way you're
because this year registration is for every community that is participating. You understand what we're
So, and when you went out of